Okay, Travis Wayne Goodsell. We're talking about uh, number 11, Jeremy. There's no question. Um about the Trinitarian Christian view of the Godhead in the original 1830 edition versus the current altered version, which got me checking Gerald and Sandra Tanner's Mormonism, Shadow or Reality, and because I don't open it, it was just for reference, which I was using it for reference. Found a little prayer card for AA. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I have no use for that. Because what's interesting is Jeremy doesn't put which edition he's referring to. So we don't see which edition the changes were made. And there were a number of changes, as I will get to in a second. The original was 1830, obviously, and there were, for the Trinitarian God, he goes over 1 Nephi chapter 3. How are you doing? Original text, I guess it's page. Because they didn't have, it was partly P. Pratt that put in the sections, or the verses rather. It was like a novel in the beginning. But it was interesting, Gerald and Sandra Tanner found that the Smiths specifically replied to the publisher when he asked if they wanted grammatical errors corrected. They said no, leave as is. So perfect phone call. Perfect. Alright, but this is about the condescension of Jesus Christ in the Book of Mormon. The Virgin whom thou seest is the Mother of God, after the manner of the flesh. That was how they originally wanted it. They did not want the current version of the Mother of the Son of God. So, very interesting. And then Son of the Eternal Father rather than the Eternal Father. The Everlasting God rather than the Son of the Everlasting God. If you know my other work, you know how that's interesting. According to Royal Skousen, Klingon Skousen's son. Oops, did I say Klingon Skousen out loud? It's because he talks space doctrine. He does an article for the old and obsolete Mormon Encyclopedia, or Encyclopedia of Mormonism, and goes over the various editions. I don't see the 64 edition. Oh, there it is. Critical text of the Book of Mormon was published in 64 to 67, or 87. No, 84 to 87. Where's 60s? Huh. Interesting. So, Skousen, you didn't do a thorough research. Because Gerald and Sandra Tanner found a 64 version, which was what they were going off of when they were recognizing the 4,000 changes from that version from the 1830. Okay. Wow. Alright, so there was the 1830 version, And the second edition, according to Klingon Scouts and Sun, was 1837 by Parley P. Pratt, and he's the one who made grammatical changes, and a few emendations were made in the text. Somebody with a loud muffler or engine. Okay, and then another one was made on 1840. Ebenezer Robinson and Don Carlos. And he's claiming Joseph Smith made the changes, which could make sense if Parley P. Pratt made the changes of grammar in the 1837 edition, and Joseph Smith then sees the 1840 and goes, "Hey, who changed the grammar? Put it back." Yeah, thus the 1840 edition restores some of the readings of the original manuscript. Parley. See, this is also proof that Parley was not in on the making of the Book of Mormon, even though he's plagiarized, according to linguistic research, in the first part of the Book of Mormon. So, yeah, this helps to confirm the theory that I had running going. Alright, then 1841, Brigham Young with Parley P. Pratt made another edition. So this ain't gonna be good. But they claim they got Joseph Smith's permission for the first European edition. It's a reprinting of the 1837. Oh my God. So Parley, again clueless, Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball wanting to go against Joseph Smith, they didn't get permission. Joseph Smith in 1840 said, "Hey, no, change it back to the original," with what they did with the 1837 change. And so in 1841, Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball, the masterminds behind the murder of Joseph Smith, got Parley P. Pratt on their side and changed it back to the corrected grammatical version of 1837. So already we're seeing the plot thicken here. 1838 is when Brigham Young struck with his Danites. That's when I call that year the leadership crisis, as Brigham Young took over the missionary traveling 12 as president, kicking out Thomas B. Marsh, who was the president. And then they covered it up with a story blaming his wife for skimming on milk. It was Brigham Young who excommunicated Thomas B. Marsh, and it had nothing to do with skimming of milk. It's because Thomas B. Marsh said, "Up yours," for the letter to respond to his excommunication on the 17th of March, 1839. Alrighty. Wow. Man, those guys are just pure evil. Those two knuckleheads. Alright. So yeah, I got nothing to say nice about Brigham Young and Heber C. Kimball. If you've seen my other videos going over what they were up to, I got nothing nice to say. And this just adds to what I've already found. Alright. So then we jump to 1879, 1849, 1852. These are all after Joseph's death. Okay. numbers to the paragraphs. Orson Pratt. 1920. It's not saying Harley P. Pratt put it into scripture format. So I'm being corrected by Royal on that one. It was Richards who added numbers to the paragraphs to aid in finding passages, thereby creating the first, although primitive, version of the Book of Mormon. Versification of the Book of Mormon. Okay. Yeah, so this is a side video. Because it doesn't answer the question of which edition the changes were made. And so that's something that's going to have to be researched, is who made the changes, when did they make the changes. But it wasn't Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith intended the original 1830, as Royal confirmed. Good for you, Royal. Alright. Brigham. Most evil man on the face of humanity. So, yeah, if you understand, if you've been paying attention to my Egyptian connections, you understand why this was important, why Joseph wanted it kept as it was for his father, who died in 1838. Okay, assuming that the official 1835 first vision is truthful and accurate, why am I getting into this? Did we miss a number here? No. Again, you're trying to... Okay. Yeah. No. No. Okay, this is a problem of having the wrong understanding and then running with the wrong understanding to correct it with another wrong understanding. You can't... No. Alright, so you're a pilot, you're flying a plane, and you veer off course just slightly. What happens if you maintain your course and you don't course correct? You end up miles away from your original destination. This is what Jeremy's doing here. This is why I'm freaking out. No. First, you need to understand the Book of Mormon's code. Once you understand the Book of Mormon's code, then you can understand in 1838 when Joseph Smith gave the first vision account after talking to Thomas B. Marsh's 8-year-old son about his having had a dream of seeing Heavenly Father and Jesus. You need to understand. Because Joseph Smith actually trips himself up in 1838 in regards to keeping the history corrected. With the death of his father, I can understand how he messed up. But he was still keeping true to the coding. So you need to understand the coding of the Book of Mormon first before you stray off onto freaky tangents. Alright, here we get into translation concerns and questions. Oh, now he calls it concerns and questions. Jeremy.